everyone, it's Jesse coming to you with a brand new Transformer toy review. No, hell is not frozen over, no pigs are not flying, and no, I'm not back into collecting Transformers. However, I am a huge fan of the Hasbro Classics toy line, so when I saw this figure at my local Toys R Us, I had to pick it up. This here happens to be the Generations, or Classics if you prefer, Thrust figure, which is a repaint slash remold of the Classics Ramjet figure, which is also a repaint slash remold of the Classics Starscream figure. So here is the toy in jet mode, as you can clearly see. The toy has three primary colors in this mode. It's this dark, almost blood red maroon color, which actually looks real nice to the eye in person. This dark gray color, and then we also have this white striping. Then if you look at the cockpit, we have this yellow slash orange translucent plastic. And if we flip the figure around here upside down, you look on the bottom, you can see we have some gold paint apps as well as some silver. And if you look here on the thrusters, you'll see that we have a silver Decepticon symbol on each thruster as well. So let me flip the figure back around so you can see it from the top view. Now as I head underneath here, you'll see that the thrusters were on the bottom of the rear wings. So as I flip the toy around, you can see that you can't really see them all that well. Why are they on the bottom of the rear wings? I have absolutely no idea. This is actually how the figure was packaged, and it doesn't make any sense to me. If I get you the instructions here real quick, I happen to have saved these, so I don't know how well this is going to come across in the video, so just bear with me. But the thrusters are actually shown on the bottom of the rear wings, just like I have it right now, and just like the figure came packaged. But if you look at the picture up here, it actually shows the thrusters on the top of the wings, just like they should be. So let me go ahead and throw those over to the side, take the thrusters off the bottom here. And if you look here at the top of the wings, we have this little hole here. If you look at the bottom of the thruster, we have a peg. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the thrusters into the top of the wings, where they should have been to begin with, and where they actually make a hell of a lot more sense. So there's the figure in jet mode now, with the thrusters on top, and it actually makes it look quite a bit nicer if you ask me. Now one little thing about the thrusters here, the thrusters have these little fans here on the top of them. They actually spin. Now I don't have long enough fingernails to get my finger in there to actually make them spin around. So what I have here is a key. So if I put the key in there, you can see that I can actually spin this around. And I'll do it here to the top one as well, just so you can see. It's actually spinning. Now it's not documented anywhere. I don't know if you would ever try that. But if you do decide to try it, you can see that they spin for yourself. So in jet mode here, the figure looks absolutely fantastic if you ask me. I'm a huge fan of the Seekers in general, and a really big fan of the Classics Seeker molds. So I was definitely happy when I found this figure and decided to pick it up. So that's pretty much it here for jet mode. I'm going to go ahead and show you the transformation to robot mode now. Let me start by go ahead and removing the thrusters here. I suppose I could have left those on, but usually they tend to fall off, at least for me. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the guns here next. The guns, by the way, which I forgot to mention, are spring-loaded. If I go ahead and push it there, you can see that it fires. Just going to go ahead and set that aside. So to start the transformation here, I'm going to grab the rear of the jets, hold on to the front, and pull the rear out here. This will form the legs here. Just flip it around here and go ahead and separate those. Rotate the feet down, just like that. Next, I'm going to take the cockpit area here, separate it here in the center. I'm going to flip this forward a little bit here, rotate it around, and I'm going to take the very tip of the nose and rotate that around, just like that. That reveals the robot head here. Next, I'm going to push the cockpit area down into the chest. As you can see, we're forming the robot mode here. Next, I'm going to take the wings and flip them around here, just like that. Now with the wings flipped around, I'm going to take the arms and separate them here from the center of the body. And then I'm going to take this entire front section here and I'm going to fold it up into the rear or back portion of the robot mode here. So now that I have the arms, I'm going to go ahead and flip out the hands here. A little bit tricky again, especially if you don't have fingernails. Go ahead and flip the landing gear into the chest. Now the last thing I need to do here is take the thrusters and we go ahead and reattach them to the wings. Again, you probably didn't need to remove these during the transformation. I did just because A, they sort of get in the way at times, and on my figure it seems like they want to fall off during the transformation. So we go ahead and just pose them a little bit here so I can get them situated. And we now have thrust here in robot mode. Now, as I said earlier, I'm in love with the Classics Seeker mold, so I absolutely adore the robot mode here. In terms of articulation, there isn't much for the head because the head is sort of limited in the movement by the things that stick up here next to the head, but the head does move a little bit. The arms, they rotate here at the shoulder, as you can see. They also bend at the elbow. And if you want to get really technical, you can rotate the wrist, rotate the hands here at the wrist in towards the body. For the legs, they actually rotate a full 360 degrees at the knee. Up here towards the torso, you can move them in and out. At the side, you can move them forward, and you can slightly move them backward. But as you can see, if I flip the wing back here out of the way so you can see, there's actually a panel here which is preventing the leg from going all the way back. This little panel right here. And of course you can rotate the leg here at the knee, you can bend it at the knee. And again, just like with the hands, if we want to get super technical, we can also rotate the feet. From jet mode, we have the two guns here, which you can mount in the hands if you want to. So you can use them as guns. Or better yet, you can mount them here on the arms, up here at the shoulder, which is where I like to put them, if they want to stay in there. Almost got it. There we go. So I like to mount them right there on the arms. And you have that classic Seeker look as he falls over. Alright, there we go. So here is Generations or Classics Thrust in robot mode. Again, the color scheme essentially stays the same. We have the dark maroon color, we have the dark gray around the upper portion of the body here. We do add some gold up here on the arms, as you can see, and on the shoulder area, and then up here around the head. And then we have some silver highlights here and there. And again, we have the silver Decepticon symbols on the thrusters. So, should you pick this figure up? Well, if you're in love with the Classics line like I am, and you're a big Seeker fan, duh, you probably already have this figure. You don't need to watch this review. If you're on the fence about it, I would definitely pick it up. I think it's a great figure, and I think it's a huge, huge improvement over the BotCon figure that was released back in 2007, I want to say. I think this is a far superior figure in terms of the looks. The colors on this are far superior to that BotCon figure. So I think the mass release was actually better than the exclusive figure, if you ask me. So that's it for my review here of Classics / Generations Thrust. See you at my next review.